guys, it's Annie. Welcome back to BloomTV. Today I'm going to do a book haul, which is a combination of books I got for my birthday and also books I bought myself. And I'm actually going to start with two library books that I got because I thought, why not? They're both really interesting and I want to talk about them. So yeah, so I'm going to start straight away because this is going to be a super long video, and the first book that I got from the library is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, and I'd never heard of this before and I haven't really seen it talked about by booktubers, but it's basically a mixture of witchcraft and academia because it's set in Oxford University in England. And I've read a chapter of this and it's kind of slow going at first, but I think it'll be really good, and it's kind of thick, so I think it will last me quite a long time, and I'm really excited to read this because it seems quite unusual and it has loads of praise from people on the back, and just everything about Oxford just really fascinates me, and witches, so it will be really interesting, and I think it's going to have a lot of history to it, which I will probably really enjoy, so I'll keep you guys updated on this. And then the second book I got from the library is definitely hyped about on YouTube, and it's Angel Fall by Susan E. or Susan E.E. Sorry, I'm really not good with names, and I have seen this talked about by lots of people, but especially Reagan from Peruse Project. She loves this, and World After, which I think is the sequel, and I don't really know much about this apart from that it's an apocalyptic kind of book about angels and kind of dystopian world, but I'm really excited to read this. I think it'll be good and quite fast paced, so looking forward to, well, I've actually started it, but I'm looking forward to getting more into the world, and it's kind of confusing at the moment. You don't really know what's going on, but because I've only read like a couple of chapters, but I think it's going to be excellent. And then just this week, I thought it was like a crisis. I thought I was going to run out of books to read, so that's why I went to the library, and I also popped into Waterstones. It was like 15 minutes till closing time, and I was like, I've got to pick up a couple of books just in case I run out before my book depository order arrived. So the first book I got has been on my list for quite a long time, ever since I saw, I think, Sana from Books and Quills talk about it. I think it was her, and it's Trouble by Non Pratt. This only came out last month, but I saw Sana talk about it when she had a review copy, and this book is really beautifully produced to begin with. I love the spine and just the combination of colours. Really, like, I've already read this and just loved it. I thought it was really real, really relatable in some ways. It's about a young girl called Hannah who gets pregnant at the age of 15, and a young boy called Aaron who's just moved to her school, and he offers to be the fake father because she does know who the father is but doesn't want to tell everyone, and so he offers to Hannah that he will be the fake father for her baby. And it's just so good. It's really realistic, really kind of British in a lot of ways, I think. I just really enjoyed it, and it kind of reminded me of my own, that kind of year 10, year 11 time in secondary school. Just really liked it, so I might do another separate book discussion on this, which will have spoilers in it, but I just want to talk more about this because I think it's a really good book and I'd really recommend it for like a kind of original contemporary. And then the next book I got I've also already read, and it's Belle Epoque by Elizabeth Ross, and this is about a young girl called Maud in Victorian Paris, well, pre-Victorian Paris, and she is hired by an agency to be I'm not a Belle Epoque, which is basically someone hired out by the nobility to make themselves look prettier, and these girls are supposedly plain or ugly, and they're hired out by the nobility to make themselves look prettier, to kind of boost their prettiness, which is a disgusting concept really, and it's kind of vile, but it's just interesting, and really like this. I love the Victorian time period, you guys know that, and especially in Paris. I haven't really read much books in Victorian Paris, so yeah, this was really good, and I would recommend it for historical reads, and it's got a nice love story as well. And then second book I've got it's also set in Victorian times, but this time in Britain, and it is The Madness by Alison Rattle, and I've heard that she is a really good author. She also wrote The Quietness, which I haven't read but do want to read, and this is about a young girl who falls in love with a guy but he doesn't share the same feelings, and it's about her. She kind of develops an obsession with him, I think, and I'm just quite interested in that kind of psychology and how people were treated at that time if they had something kind of different with them, like maybe a mental illness, and people really treated quite harshly at Victorian times if they had something like that, but just that time period in general. And I think this will be quite similar to Elijah's Mermaid by S.C. Fox, which I adored, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. And also, cover is beautiful. And these now onto the books that I got for my birthday from my friends and family. The first 3 books are part of a series. My friends all know I love books, and one of my friends' dad owns a book company, and he got me the first 3 books in the Game of Thrones series by George R.R. Martin. So much hype around these books and the TV series. I haven't read them, wanted to get more into epic fantasy, and was recommended these by everyone basically, and they are Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, and the third one is A Storm of Swords, One, Steel and Snow, and I think it's the third book, but this is only the first part of it, I think. And yeah, I think these books are more, they're epic fantasy, but the guy at the bookshop I was talking to about like kind of high fantasy recommendations, and he said they're quite political, got very complex plot lines, but I'm really excited to read these. Like, all my friends say they're brilliant, but I'm going to leave them till after my exams, so because my friend said that it's better to read them when you have time to really engross yourself in the world, so I'm leaving these for about a month and a half until my exams are over. And I think that's kind of like my motivation to get me through exams and revise terms, because I think I have about 3 weeks off where I can just read and do other things that will be fun, which won't include revision. And then the next book I got from my aunt for my birthday, and it's Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Again, this is kind of hyped about as a really good contemporary book on BookTube and Tumblr, and I'm just really enjoyed this. I've read it already a couple of weeks ago when I first got it, and I just really liked it. Loved Etienne, loved Anna, loved their characters. Of course, everyone loves Etienne, he's lovely. And I just like this. I'd really recommend it as a sweet, like, kind of quick contemporary read. And then the next book I got is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens in this beautiful English Library Classics Penguin English Library edition. Always butcher that name, did it in my last video. And these, as I said before, these editions are beautiful. And after seeing this mentioned so much in the Infernal Devices, and I've also read Great Expectations and loved it, I thought better read this one. It's kind of another one of Charles Dickens' favourite famous novels, and it's going to be difficult, I think, to get myself into it, but I'm sure I'll really enjoy it. So I'll keep you guys updated, but again, we'll probably leave this till after my exams when I've got a bit more time. And then the next book I got is the most beautiful book ever, and it's The Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis. I have the special edition, which I asked for specifically because I'm sad, but it's so beautiful, like gilded edges, this really nice feeling cover, end pages are gorgeous, and it's just a really beautiful book, and I think great for anyone who loves Cassandra Clare's writing and the whole world of Shadowhunters that she creates there. This is just I think it'd be a lovely gift, which is what I got it as. And then the next book I've also already read, and it is a weighty one. It's Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. You probably heard he wrote The Invention of Hugo Cabret, and I think it's something like that, which I've read, and this is very similar, again using pictures and words to tell, but this time to tell 2 stories, the one of Ben's in 1970s and Rose in the 1920s. Rose's story is told through pictures and Ben's through words, and they just intertwine to create a really beautiful story, and I'd really recommend this for both adults and children. Even though it's a children's middle grade book, it's just beautiful. And then the last 3 books are books that arrived today, actually, from my aforementioned book depository order. They haven't all arrived yet, but I thought I'd just get on with this video anyway. And the first one is The Elite by Kira Cass. The second book in the Selection trilogy. The last book comes out next month, and I'm just really excited. Loved the first book, so I'm looking forward to reading this and carrying on with that story. And then the next book I actually haven't seen that many people talk about, but it's Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. This is translated from the original German, and I have the amazing American floppy books. I don't think American booktubers realise how amazing this is, like, for British people to get these kind of really floppy books. They're really nice. I just like these editions, even though most people probably think they're like mass market paperbacks and they're horrible, but I like having them. And even though, and the covers are shiny as well, it's really cool. But anyway, don't really know much about this story apart from it's kind of about time travel, follows a young girl. I just know these are supposed to be quite good, and I'm really looking forward to starting this trilogy. So yeah, exciting times. And then the very last book I got is possibly the most beautiful book I will show you in today's video, and it is The Kingdom of Little Wounds by Susan Cockell, I think. And this is just such a beautifully produced book. I mean, let's just appreciate for a moment how beautiful this book is. The inside, just really, really beautifully produced. And again, I don't really know much about this except it's set in Scandinavia. It's kind of fantasy, magical elements, I think, and I'm just really looking forward to reading this. Is it Scandinavia? I'm pretty sure it's Scandinavia. And that kind of area anyway, and I'm just really looking forward to reading this. I think it's going to be amazing. Like, it's already got an award already, and it hasn't been out that long, so I'm super excited to read that. And I'll probably read it really soon. Might do a review for you guys, or it'll be in my April wrap up. But anyway, I can tell my camera's about to run out of battery, and so thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I know it's going to be super long, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon for a book discussion of Trouble by Non Pratt. I think that's what the next video will be. So I will see you guys soon. Bye!